Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Emma and this channel is all about sewing, mainly hand sewing, and it's really lovely to have you joining me today for this Chatty Catch Up style video, which I haven't done one of these for a really long time, I think, on YouTube. So I do have quite a lot to share. There's a lot that's been going on over the last few months, and I have lots of lovely things to talk about that are coming up as well. So grab a cup of tea and let's get cracking. So before I get into all of that, I would just like to say a couple of things. So first of all, thank you so much for being here. There are lots of new subscribers, so thank you for taking a chance on my channel and pressing the subscribe button. I really appreciate you being here. And I really appreciate you if you've been here before as well, whether it's only once or whether you've been here from the beginning. It really means a lot to me. And it's really exciting to see how this channel is growing and developing and to be part of this lovely community here. So because there are some new people here, I thought I would just introduce myself a little bit more than I usually do. So I am a content creator here over on YouTube. As you can see, I like to create videos about English paper piecing and embroidery, hand sewing, that sort of thing. I like to share tips when I can, tutorials and free patterns. And I have a website where I have lots of free patterns on there, as well as a really small shop. And in that shop there are just the things that I absolutely love. So just a small selection of fabrics and notions, and they're all things that I use myself. I only sell things that I love and use. So I have that, and I also sell digital patterns and video workshops, and that's something that's developing, and I have a few patterns for sale at the moment and some more in the works, which I'll tell you about later. So that's another aspect of what I do. And then finally I have a Patreon channel as well, and over there I share some extra videos and occasional free patterns there too. So that is a little bit about me and what I do. If you like this video and the other videos on my channel, then you might want to have a look at my website and maybe even Patreon, and that would be so lovely. You can sign up just for 1 month over on Patreon if you want. You don't have to stay subscribed there, and yeah, that would be really lovely. And also I share over on Instagram as well, usually quite frequently. I've been a bit quiet there the past couple of weeks because things have been very busy here, and I'll tell you about that in a moment. But if you follow over on Instagram, you'll get more frequent updates about things that are going on, because here on YouTube I just put a video out every other week because I want my videos to be really good quality, and I just couldn't do that if I was doing them every week. So it's every fortnight here on YouTube, and they go up on a Monday at 7 PM UK time. So that's a bit about me, and if you'd like to tell me about you, then please introduce yourself in the comments. I try and read every single one and reply, so yeah, do that if you can. It would be lovely to hear from you. So June has been such a busy, crazy month. I've been doing lots of making. I think a lot of the things that I've got to show you today are from June, but some are definitely from a bit before, from during May. And yeah, I've got some lovely things to share. I've got some machine sewing projects to share, some of my own designs in the works to share, a bit of crochet. But first I'm going to tell you about the lovely weekend that I've just come back from. So I've just been to Ironbridge, which is a really lovely place, and I was very lucky to be invited by the very lovely Kelly of Lay Family Yarns. She has a beautiful shop in a craft centre in Ironbridge, and she sells her wonderful hand-dyed yarn, which I'm a real fan of, and I've bought some and I'm currently using for a lovely crochet project. And she's just expanded her space and taken on the unit next door to her shop, and is creating a creative hub. I think that's probably the best way to describe it. So she's worked so hard with Nick to create this amazing space. It's really beautiful in there and so welcoming, and I was her first workshop there, just taught a workshop to make a floral wreath mini quilt, and it was just the loveliest day. I was really nervous because it's the biggest class that I've ever taught and also a full day class, which I've never done before. And I was nervous because I just wanted to make sure everything was right. I wanted everybody who made that effort to come to really love it. And I wanted to make sure that I didn't let Kelly down because it was her first workshop in her space. And it went really well, and I had a really lovely time meeting everybody. What a lovely group of people. Like, the ladies that came were just so friendly and funny. We had a great time. There was lots of laughing, lots of smiling, and we really enjoyed stitching and making the floral wreath mini quilt. There was a lot to do on the day, so everybody knew that it wasn't going to be finished on the day, but people made really good progress and hopefully are able to finish it off at home. And Kelly and Nick just put on such a lovely day, and the food was incredible. Really, really lovely. So highly recommend going just to check out their yarn shop anyway. But if she's running workshops or retreats or anything like that, I really recommend going because it's just such a lovely place. The vibe there, everything. I had a great time. So yeah, can't recommend that enough. It's brilliant. I really enjoyed it. But it's nice to be back and to carry on and pick up where I left off with things. So let's get into what I've been making. So quite a while back I started a quilt for my son. It will be his birthday in a couple of months, and I've been wanting to make him a quilt. I made him a baby quilt when he was a baby, but I want to make him a full-size quilt. Well, I say full-size, child-size quilt. It probably won't quite be single bed size, but we'll see. So I chose this pattern, Penguin Party, and I've had it for a couple of years, and it's by Elizabeth Hartman. And I think I just thought it was going to be too tricky, but I sat down, prepped everything, and made a block just to see how it would go. Here is the first penguin. There's the bottom, and there's his face. Really sweet, and there are just 11 more of those to go. So I love the gingham fabric. I've got browns and turquoises, and I think a lighter blue for the other penguins, so they're going to be really fun. So when that's finished, I'll definitely show you that. But I need to get cracking with that one, make it a bit of a priority so I get it done in time for his birthday. And the other quilt that I started either May or just before was a Laurie Holt quilt, and it's called My Happy Place, and it's a spectacular quilt with machine piecing and applique as well. And I bought the shapes that you have to buy to make it quite a long time ago. They were quite expensive, I think because they've been imported from the US. They were really expensive actually, but I really wanted to make the quilt, and I thought, oh, I can get away with not buying any fabrics for it. I'll use scraps and things that I've got left over. So I got everything out that I thought had that vintagey vibe that she has in her work, and I just didn't have enough and they weren't right. So I just put it on hold, and slowly over time I've bought a few of her fabrics here and there and built up a little collection so that now I think I have enough to make the quilt. So I started by making the biggest block, which is all machine pieced, and it's the sewing machine. Ooh, that's the wrong way. The sewing machine block. You can see this is how big it is. It's huge. And I started cutting them out and sewing them together, and then I realised that because I'd bought fat quarters and I hadn't followed the instructions in terms of the fabric requirements, I was just winging it, that actually you did need half-yard cuts for some of the prints, and I didn't want to buy that much fabric because I knew there was going to be a lot left over if I followed those requirements. So I just bought some fat quarters and tried to look at it and think, which ones will I use more than once and work it out. But for this one you needed a half yard for this bottom bit of fabric, so the red that runs along the bottom, a fat quarter wasn't long enough, and I was worried, and I was thinking, well, I'm not going to be able to make it because I haven't got anything that's long enough. And then I just thought, well, I'll just cut 2 strips and sew them together and then make the strip out of that. So that's what I did. I have an extra seam here, but you can't notice. I don't think anyone would know. And I think I might have done the same with the pink as well, possibly, but even I can't remember now. So I don't think that it ruins it at all. So little tip, if you haven't got enough fabric, just join 2 pieces together and then use that. You might have an extra seam, but no one will know. So yeah, it's worked out okay. Now the rest of the quilt, there's so much more to do, and I'm not going to be doing it anytime soon because I've got other things to prioritise, but it's nice to work on here and there, and over time I'll get to the end of it, I'm sure. So as well as that, I've worked a little bit on my Happy Memories quilt, and that's the quilt as you go quilt that you might have seen in some of my videos. I've made quite a few videos about it now. It's still the same as in those videos. It's still just this big, not very big at all. And I know some people have even finished theirs, which is just an amazing effort. And I'm not in a rush to finish it. I'm really enjoying the process, so I don't mind that it's only small. I have lots of blocks prepped, lots of blocks done, and I'm going to stitch them together and just really enjoy it. I've had a couple of questions about it. So first of all, someone was wondering about the back. So the back is really lovely. It is like having 2 quilts in one because you get this lovely patchwork effect on the back, and yeah, it's really nice. And there's the front. So someone was asking me about quilting them. So I am quilting them with just a running stitch that just goes around the edge, and it's fine. That's enough to hold it because they're not very big. So I think that's absolutely fine. Someone else asked about finishing the edges. So you can leave the edges if you don't mind this zigzaggy look, and I really like it, especially down the sides. But you can leave the top like this, and if you do that, and the bottom as well, and if you do that, then you can just add to it whenever you want. But if you want to square it off a bit, then you just need to put a half hexagon in here. Just make it in exactly the same way and just fill in the gaps. I might do that. I might fill those in like that, but I think I'll leave the sides with this little zigzag in it. But this is a project that's going to take me a really long time, and I'm fine with that. I love projects that take a long time and just enjoying the process. So I'm in no rush about that. But I have lots of blocks here that I have been working on, and I have lots of new fabrics as well that I've been purchasing, and I'll show you those. This was a block that I did as a tutorial on Patreon, and I put the little pattern on there as well so other people can make it. It's pink lily of the valley because I had some pink lily of the valley in my garden this year, which was really lovely. So the theme of the quilt is gardens, nostalgia, childhood. I'm just making it for myself, and I've bought quite a lot of fabrics recently to add more blocks, and I bought them from a shop in the UK called Elmhurst Fabrics. They sell these fabrics, and I think they're called Actum, or I think the designer is called Daniela Dresser. I'm probably saying it wrong, but the fabrics are just absolutely beautiful. So these little butterflies on there, butterflies, animals, fairies. There's a real childhood vibe to them. They're just absolutely beautiful and just perfect for this quilt that I'm making. So I bought quite a few of those, and here's another one. I really recommend this shop. They're really brilliant, great customer service, And they also had some Michael Miller fabric, so this one's called Victoria's Garden. And I thought that really fit in well with the quilt. And they have this one, which was like seed packets and things. And this one, which is flowers in jars. Look at that tiny one. That's lovely. And then I got this one from them as well. It's a bell and boo fabric, which I thought really fitted in with the same vibe as the whole quilt. So I have lots to get on with that, and I just need more time because I never seem to have enough time to make much progress with that quilt, but I really want to spend some time this summer stitching that. So that's one of the things that I've been doing. So I've also been working on some of my own patterns and designs. I took some time out in May to really focus on that and try to think, what am I going to do next? And I started by making this little sewing case, which has gone a bit squished sitting over there. But I just made it from fabric that I already had in my stash. And it's just a little oval zipped up case. It's open here and it's got a hex petal flower on the top. And it's just a prototype. I definitely think I will write it up into a pattern though, and probably do a stitch school video. So this is the inside of it, so it just zips almost all the way around, and I just wanted somewhere to keep my scissors handy when I go outside stitching and that sort of thing. And then it has a pin cushion, I don't know if you can see. It's hard to hold on. Let me take all of the threads out because then I'll be able to hold it up more easily. There we go. I've been using it, so it's really handy. The pin cushion I had velcroed, but it will absolutely need to be stitched in because the velcro isn't strong enough to hold it. But I wanted that kind of almost like a vanity case style sewing case for this one. So it was just an experiment really, and it's definitely been useful, but the pin cushion really does need sewing in. And I also had my little Macron needle minder, and that just needs to be attached a bit more firmly as well. But yeah, lovely little sewing case, some machine quilting on it, and lots of hand stitching to put it all together, and it was really quite quick to make and enjoyable to make as well. So that's one pattern idea that I've been working on. Then I made the Hexagon wall hanging storage. It's not a great title, is it? The Hexagon storage wall hanging, I think it's called. Hexagon organize. Let me just get it and show you. So a couple of videos ago I put out the tutorial for this, which is a wall hanging made of hexagons. It's quilt as you go, but it has pockets so you can keep things in it, so you can put your threads in it and you can hang it up in the sewing room. And it was really fun to make, and it's a lovely decoration. And if you haven't seen that video, do check it out. I'll leave a link below. But yeah, it was a really fun project. So it's free pattern, free tutorial. And I made it with Liberty fabric. They sent me this bundle of London Parks collection, which is a lovely collection of fabrics. And they sent me their blenders, their Emily Bell and Wiltshire Shadow blenders to go with it. So I made that. It was really fun. So it's really nice having that up on the wall in the sewing room. But they sent me another collection as well. They sent me their newest one, which is called Heirloom 1, and they sent me that with their coordinating fabrics from the Emily Bell collection as well. And I sat and looked at them and stroked them and just didn't want to cut into them because it is the most beautiful collection. It's really lovely. But when I finally got the courage up, I made this. I made a little, well, it's quite big actually, house sewing case. So I really like sewing cases, in case you haven't noticed. And yeah, I tend to make patterns for those, it seems. But yeah, I used the Heirloom 1 collection and the Emily Bell as roof tiles on the house. And then you've got the windows and the door, and then it opens like this and opens down, and then you've got a really big pocket here with a zip across. And let's see, so I've got some more EPP in there at the moment of another pattern I'm working on. That's in there. And then you've got these two pockets here. There's a needle book in that one, and what's in this one? Scissors, scissors case in this one, and more EP in this big pocket at the back. And yeah, this is just the prototype, and the fabrics are so lovely. The fabrics really make it pretty. But yeah, it's just a prototype, and I've been thinking about this idea probably for 2 years, it may even be more. And I finally got the courage to make it and share it. I've made prototypes of it before and just haven't developed it enough, but I because I was making it with the Liberty fabric for them, I pushed myself, and I got an amazing response to it, which I just really didn't expect, and I'm so grateful for that supportive and lovely response to this. So many people were saying that they liked it. This is on Instagram, and encouraging me to write the pattern. So that's exactly what I'm doing next. All my other patterns and things are just going to go on hold, and I'm going to write this one up, and I'm going to make a video tutorial to go with it. So what I've been doing with my patterns really is creating a PDF pattern that you can just download and print off if you want to. And then my patterns always have full photo step-by-step instructions, but if you do need that extra support, then I make an extra video class that you can purchase as an extra. So there'll be a video class taking you through this step-by-step as well. And this won't be the end of the house themes things. There are going to be some accessories to go with it as well, so I just need to get on with it. And that is exactly what I'm going to do, and I'm excited about it. I really love it, and I can't wait to make another one. Let me show you the fabrics that I'm using to make the next one. So I used up a lot of the Heirloom collection to make that one, so I had to go and buy some more. But I didn't choose the same collection. I bought this one, which I think is called Flower Show Pebble. So they're more muted greys. Oh, let me show them properly. They're muted like greys and yellows and pinks. Really pretty. And then I'm pairing them with these Emily Bell, really soft pastel colours. And I have this one as well as like a neutral. And then some of the leftovers from the other collection to go with it. So I think that's going to look really nice, and I'm really excited about making that. So even though I'm going to work on it now, it will take me a while to get it all done. I like to be really thorough and just make sure it is the absolute best it can be before it goes up for sale. So I will let you know when that is available, and just a massive thank you to everyone for your support with that. I find it really hard putting my ideas out there. Sometimes it is nerve-wracking, and I tend to just hold on to things, and I find it hard, but the response just really helped to give me that courage and that confidence to keep going with it. So thank you. So I really like to crochet as well as sewing, so I just thought I'd quickly show you what I've been working on in terms of crochet. I bought some books recently to make some amigurumi characters for my little boy. I'll show you them next time because I haven't actually started any of the patterns yet, but I'm quite excited to do those. I have shown you this project before, I think anyway. It's a Sandra Cherry Heart pattern, and these hexagons, I've just been making these in all these cathkids and colours, and I've got quite a lot of them now, but I think I'm going to make them into some sort of cushion. So I've just got lots of those and then lots more in the works. Definitely got enough now to make some sort of cushion, so I'll show you that when it's a little bit further ahead. But I'm excited about that. I want to have it outside on my arbour, and I'm working on my grandmother's rose garden quilt pattern as well, which was a free pattern and I've just had to set it aside and prioritise other things, but I will have the rest of that out really soon. I'm not going to have the quilt finished, but again, it's just another slow work in progress. But I want that cushion and the quilt eventually for my garden, for sitting outside. And then another crochet project that I've been working on is just something I'm making up. And oops, I just undone it. But I just got some Stylecraft cotton bamboo yarn, really soft and smooth and lovely yarn it is. I've got 2 colours of it. I can't remember exactly what colours the colours are called. I seem to have lost the labels, but there's that lilac-y one and this other one which is a mauvey, pinky, lilac-y colour. Not really pink, it's difficult to describe. I think it might be called pumice, but I'm not sure. But what I've been doing is just holding them double, and you can see I've been crocheting what will be a bucket type bag, and yeah, it's just a bit wrinkled at the moment, but so just it's coming undone as well. But yeah, I've just been doing a double crochet stitch, or single if you're in the US, and I've just been holding both yarns together because I bought those yarns for something else, but when I decided I wanted to make this, I didn't want to have to buy something else, and I just knew I needed it to be a little bit thicker than 1 strand. So 2 is just giving it a bit of a variation, nothing much because they're very similar, but it's creating a nice texture. And my idea with this is to line it with some Liberty fabric and it's going to be like drawstring. I'm just making it up, and I might do some embroidery on the front as well. So that's just something else that I'm working on. So I think that's all in terms of things that I've been making, and yeah, I think that's everything. So in terms of what's coming up then, I will tell you about my shop in a moment and things that are either on there now or will be really soon. But I'm going to Festival of Quilts in Birmingham in the NEC, and I'm going to be there on the 5th, that's a Saturday, and the 6th, which is a Sunday. And I'm teaching 2 classes, so the Saturday class is sold out, which I'm really grateful for, so thank you so much if you've booked a ticket and you're coming to that. That one is about curved EPP, so a bit similar to what I taught at the weekend, but just a much shorter version. And then the Sunday class, there are still, I think, 5 tickets left for that one, and it's at the end of the day on a Sunday, so it's not the best slot. But if you're around on that day and you'd like to come along, I would love you to join us. So that one is called Getting Started with EPP and Hexiform. So it's a bit of an introduction to English paper piecing, a chat about Hexiform, and then we're going to make our first hexagon flower to take home. So yeah, I hope that if you're available and you'd like to come, please do come along to the class. But if you're just going to Festival of Quilts, just have a look around and you happen to see me, please come and say hello. It would be lovely to meet you. So yeah, I'll be there before and after my classes on both days, walking around. I'll be doing some filming. I can't wait to see all the quilts on display. I'll be filming those. So yeah, if you do see me, then please come and say hello. I'm really looking forward to it because it was brilliant last year, and I of course will make a video about it for the channel as well. So a little chat about my shop. I've just updated my shop with a few new things. There are lots of fabrics in there. So what have we got? Let's see. So I've got some fat quarters of lovely Liberty fabrics that are now available in my shop. Really beautiful. So there's lots of those on the website. And then I've been restocking my charm packs. So they are 5-inch squares. There are 20 prints in each pack, and it's great for scrappy quilting if you're doing a hexagon quilt or something like that, or for a plique or anything, and you want that range of different prints, then these packs are really great for that. So there's that rainbowy one. What else have we got? We've got pinks. We've got lovely purples and blues. And all of the prints in the packs are tiny floral prints, so they're just really nice to have. This one is another blues and purples collection. And we've got some greens and turquoises and blues. I'm sorry about the glare on the packets. Yeah, there's so much in there, so many different prints. I always want to keep them and I just can't keep them all, but there's always ones I want to keep. There's some reds and blues. And you could buy a pack and just make a quilt in those colours, or if you did buy multiple packs, or you've already started something and use a pack to add to it, just creates that spectrum of colour. Yeah, and that scrappy look. There's a yellows collection, which is really nice because they've got some like mustardy yellow ones, but also some neutral ones in between, so that's a really nice pack. And there's lots of variety of these in my shop at the moment. And another thing that's new in my shop is buttons. So I've started stocking some buttons that are made by a lovely company in the UK, handmade, completely handmade, and they're ceramic buttons. And I've started stocking them individually on my website, but they will be in some of my kits that are coming in the future. I think next year. So they're really special. You don't see buttons like this every day. They're really nice ceramic buttons. So there's one with a rosebud on it, and there's this one. And then we've got some hexagon shaped ones which I just couldn't resist. This butterfly on, so you can see that they're like that on the back. So if you put them on a cardigan or something like that, then I would take them off to wash the item. But think mini quilts, that's what I'm thinking with these, that I'm going to put them on mini quilts. So they're going to be in some of my kits for things that wouldn't really need washing. So, oops, there's another one. And then there's two types of rose hexagons. One with double roses and just a single rose. They're really lovely, really nice to have, and yeah, I'm excited to be a stockist for them. And the only other thing to tell you about that's new on my website are some kits. So I really love making up kits, and as a buyer of crafts, I really love buying kits as well, because you get everything that you need. And I find it difficult to keep kits in stock on my website because it's just me and it takes a lot of time to prepare them, and I'm also making videos, designing patterns, and just keeping up with the shop orders for the items that are already in the shop. So I do find it difficult to keep kits in stock, but I really want to create more kits, so there will be more in the future. But at the moment I've got a kit to make the Starflower coaster, and that is on the website now. And when you buy it, you get it in a little mini, see, it's just a mini project bag with this logo on the front. You get the instruction book in there, and then you get all of the fabrics that you need and the needles, the hexiform. There's Liberty fabric in there as well. You get the hexiform and you get some bobbins of thread in there as well. So all of that comes in the kit. So that's the Starflower coaster kit. Some embroidery thread in there. You get everything that you need. Felt to back the coaster. And yeah, so that's that one. So something I've done a lot of in the past are the needlebook kits. And so the needlebook is a free pattern and a free tutorial on YouTube, but if you'd like a little kit with all of the things in to make it, and I have just a few of those going up on the website, again in a little mini bag to eliminate the use of plastic. You get the printed off instructions and templates, and then you get the fabric, so there's linen, some felt, some quilting cotton, and this Liberty fabric, so all of them are pink at the moment. It's the pink range, and then you get the threads and the hexiform that you need in a little bag. And you get the foam, which is in the middle there. You get the foam to give your needlebook that structure and support. And then the last kit, which at the time of making this video, I haven't put them up available yet, but they might be there by now, and that is the sewing case kit. So in this blue colourway, I did a run of kits. It's quite a while ago now, and then I couldn't get the zips again. So there's a zip in this side. But I've managed to get another zip, which is like a lace zip, which you can use instead. It'll just go on the outside rather than underneath the fabric. So apart from that, everything else is the same. All of the same fabrics, the Liberties and all these blues, and the embroidery thread, and that comes in a slightly bigger project bag. Get everything that you need. The pattern doesn't come in the kit for this though, because I know a lot of people have already bought the pattern, so the pattern is just separate, but the price of the kit reflects the fact that the pattern is sold separately. So that's it, that's everything from me. Thank you so much for staying to the end if you're still here. Let me know what you're making and what you're excited about for the summer in the comments below. And just a massive thank you for being here and for your support, and I'll see you again soon in my next video. Take care. Bye bye.